Hello everybody and welcome back to the Animal Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm Animal Bus Videos, otherwise known as Animal Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. And welcome to Cladbeck, back in Smarden. I enjoyed my experience in Smarden that much in the last video, I thought I'd have another run. Now we're at Cladbeck, that is the 347 start and terminal point for 2 trips. The duty that we're doing here, this is the 10 o'clock from Cladbeck into OMSI, runs off another service, and in the afternoon it runs up to Cladbeck, finishes here and goes into another route again. The 347 itself is a peak time service, taking a slightly different, slightly quicker, but also slightly more off the beaten track route between Rye and OMSI than the 349 that runs more frequently. As a result, the 347 serves some unique places, such as this one, for example, thus why additional workings were put in like this one to allow people, let's say at 10 o'clock, who want to go from Cladbeck into OMSI to be able to do so. So we're driving the Dennis Trident ALX 400 because I really wanted to go in it, and I thought, you know what, yeah, why not? Let's see how we're doing the 347. Now what we've got to think is unlike the long single decker of the previous video that was 12 meters long, although it does have an additional deck, the Dennis Trident is one of the shorter vehicles that you can drive on the UK sort of vehicles collection in OMSI. It is a very short vehicle, short length, that you'll see as we go around some of the corners. It's probably goes around the same length as a 10.8 metre street light or C200 that I have taken round the 347, so we should be okay. As I say, slightly shorter than that as well, I believe. We'll hopefully not find any low bridges. There'll be some low trees, but again, if we pretend that there is one of those massive rigid tree bars at the front, and we're not going to let that bother us too much. So we're going to be driving this in. We are doing a service that leaves in about 90 seconds. It should take us approximately 38 minutes. And we go through Butte Meadow that we did last time in the previous video. Then we go through OMSI Station. So it's a little bit longer, a little bit few extra places than the 304, and then relatively similar to the 304 back. So it should be quite a nice run. So we're driving in the Exeabus livery. This livery does come with the vehicle, and having seen Exeabus quite recently in person, I thought, yeah, we'll give it a go. The livery's quite nice, it is quite pleasant, and as I say, I don't mind it, so it should hopefully be fun. Now let's see just how we do. Now, hopefully the most interesting section of this route is going to be the first bit. Once we've got past most of these initial villages, we should actually be okay. And we are now back to proper mirrors, traditional ones, rather than dealing with the electronic ones that do take a little bit of getting used to. There we go, easy peasy.
Flipping hell. Seems real.
Yeah, I'm for real. Again, you see it's a lot easier than the likes of a C200 or Streetlight or something. Yeah, you get close to the buildings and bits like that, as you can see. But, as I say, there's no strikes because it is a shorter vehicle, so it is, believe it or not, although you wouldn't think that with it having 2 decks, it is a lot easier to manoeuvre. Let's just hope it gets up the hills as well. Didn't think about that bit, if I'm honest. This is going to be fun, because this is that really steep hill. A part of that very steep hill. Oh dear. This might get quite interesting. Because I can't remember this being particularly well known for getting up hills nicely. So we'll see. Let's get a bit of a heavy run up and hope for the best. Is probably the best thing that we can do. Come on, Dennis Trident. You can do it. Red car, stop, because if I stop now, that's it. This is the end if I stop now. And what's quite good is with it being in OMSI, in a simulator game rather than real life, I've got no worry of an overheating alarm coming off and flames coming out the back of the bus. It's quite nice. It's quite nice to drive a Dennis Trident that you know isn't going to get thermal. Although, as I say, I do have a soft spot for Dennis Tridents that we've just known a few years ago for vehicle fires, because there was quite a string of them actually in one go, where there was just constant vehicle fires. I mean, the thing that seems to be going on at the moment, especially in West Yorkshire, is this issue of arson attacks on buses. I think we've had three or four street decks within the past year damaged now as a result of arson attacks. To say they're all brand new bits of kit, it does kind of make you think, well, why did they actually bother investing if the passengers are then just going to torch the bus? But it just seems to be happening quite often at the moment. I mean, there was an incident quite recently in Bradford. There's been another incident, I think it was about a week after or something daft like that, in Leeds, in Hare Hills. So, for some bizarre reason, vehicle fires and arson attacks seem to be the trend at the moment. Thankfully, touch wood, we haven't had any since then. But it isn't good that these brand new vehicles, I mean, the vehicle in question that was torched in Bradford is one of the new 71 plate street decks. So it's not that old. I mean, it does mean it will get repaired, like, but it's still not that old to say that it would. It's had most of rear vehicle now torched. And you can usually tell that there are some attacks because the fire starts from the upper deck rear rather than lower deck rear or lower deck front. Lower deck front and lower deck rear tend to be vehicle related fires, mechanical like, and anything upper deck back tends to just be an arson attack. It's fine, don't worry. Just we've got a very slow blue car in front that doesn't understand that if I don't go over hills up hills at a certain speed to start off with, I ain't gonna get up them. You can jump off here. I don't believe I've got anybody on now. I was expecting this 10 o'clock working to be busy. I've actually upped the passenger levels as well. And yeah, the only one person that we had on has now got off. I might have to, if this does go well, I might have to set myself a challenge. Oh, we do actually go down here, we're going to Lockerley. I was going to say, I might have to set myself the challenge of doing the entire 347, but I've just remembered that we go via Lockerley. So this is about to get very interesting. We've actually got a passenger as well. And then you've got an absolute ton of road. Oh, why did you go at the same time as me? There we go, I'm not gonna... Apart from the fact that we had to mount the entire verge there for the cars to overtake, I'm not going to call that a fail. Purely because... One for the cars, we wouldn't have had a problem. Keep going, I've given up with the cars. Usually in real life they would likely go back if they saw you on a turn like that. And if they didn't, you'd probably stop and get your newspaper out. So that's why anything involving cars around here I'm not counting as a fail, because there's not we can do. Oh yeah, we don't go into the Lockerley loop, do we, thankfully? We just don't double back on Coppard's Lane. Come on, eek, eek. Come on, boss. Okay, so we've also learned that the Danish Trident brakes aren't as good as I thought they were. Really not as good as I thought they were. That was actually quite scary. It's alright, you're screaming at me and so is the bus, so... Lesson learned, make sure the cars are turned down when you do a route like this. Don't have intense car levels like I've got. Because this is not a good combination. I mean, it can be done with this vehicle, it's just the volume of cars. And then thankfully we're going down here rather than up. Because I don't quite think this bus would forgive me. You can get off here because I can't see where I'm going. There you go. See what that looks from a screenshot perspective. How much of a good screenshot does that look? It looks okay. I mean, apart from the fact that the sun is in the totally opposite direction. There we go, excellent. No, this Dennis Trident does not like having to brake harshly on hills. It's not a particular fan of that. I think if we've learnt anything, that's what we've learned. This make a good WRC course. Something like Colin McRae Rally, kinda run is this? What can I say? I like Tridents. I have forgotten how much fun it is to actually take this for a spin in the game. It is a pretty fun vehicle. And as I say, apart from the brakes, they're intermittent. I mean, they're okay. We're only just on time. It's the fact that we're actually have absolutely floored that long here and we are only just on time. Although to be fair, I don't think what's helped was all of that estate chaos that we've had to put up with, where we're just going through that village then. Oh, there's a person, there's a time traveller spanning in and out of this universe. Go, let me crack on. Nobody wants to get on at the stop named church. Just church. Nothing else. After dealing with this turn last time in the other direction, I'm not taking any chances. There we go, easy peasy. I must say it's a lot easier from that direction than it is the other. Oh, so that was the end stop. Oh. So I probably didn't have to actually go around the tight bend that I embarrassed myself on to finish. I mean, we could have literally... I don't know where we came from. Yeah. We could have literally stopped at that bus stop, finished, and I'd have had a run where no walls were tapped. That'd have been ace, and then just reversed it and come back out again. Shocker. Missed trick there. Definitely missed trick. So yeah, for those of you wondering in the last video, yes, I have now found where the terminus stop was, and it was before all the stuff that went wrong. So there's a very quick bus in the game, very quick. How are we doing for time? We are now bang on time, excellent. Let's try and keep it that way if we can. I think, to be fair, last time I did this route, and I did it in Streetlight, I think I did this one in the 10.8 metres hospital Streetlight, first York one. We did end up again, we'd finished at the terminus early because I don't mess about. Because when you actually drive these things in real life, you kind of just use the game to let go a little bit if you still play it like I do. From time to time. I mean, it is very occasional now compared to beforehand. And it's quite nice to just have a spin on a challenging map in a game sense and sort of just absolutely floor the living life out of the vehicle unrealistically, because it's not something you tend to do in person. Because you've got speed limits and speed cameras and safety things to follow. In the game, you don't necessarily have that. The jurisdiction of where things stand is more your discretion. Unless you take it seriously. But I don't. Because I just enjoy absolutely flooring it along these runs, seeing how quick I can do it. And then improving my perception of going around tight bends and tight turns and stuff like that. This map is absolutely ideal for me. The bus's suspension launched us all over there, but it's me. I think this will look nice as a screenshot. I believe we've got a screenshot here in the past, because it is always quite a nice angle to get if you can get the angle right, because I don't want the sun in the way, nor the trees if I can help it. There we go. That looks nice. Oh. All these people expecting some sort of minibus and this absolutely huge Trident just showing up. Just looking a bit funny, just going, huh? Remember the time on very similar roads like this, I'd done the 877 and 878 corridor. I filmed it again in an Ammo Central video, you can look at that. We started off at Wolverhampton, did absolutely tremendous then start at SPD that the operator no longer has. from Wolverhampton to Stafford. Quite a long vehicle, SPDs. And we went down some incredible turns. It's going to be easy if I reverse. We went around some incredible like rural roads and bits like that, got stuck with a tractor, you name it, we did the lot. And then coming back, I'd had a little look on the tracker and it looked like on occasion, I didn't know obviously if it was right or not, that a decker had appeared on the 878 that I hadn't done the 878. And lo and behold, it did, and the reason it did is because it picked up a big school. So it did a school run, then it had a 25-minute break, and then in a single trip into Wolverhampton that I thought were going to be 2 separate buses. For some reason, it's...
Dear me, this is shocking.
But for some reason, they split it like that, so presumably it was 2 different runs they were being subsidised for, and the council had requested times of the services and stuff like that, so there was a 25-minute crossover. So yeah, as I said, it was a crossover, so we sat the bus for 25 minutes. Now the 878, an interesting run because it wasn't quite as rural as the 77. The 878 predominantly stayed on roads like this that we're on, even wider roads. So it was a very similar case to the 3, 4, 7 and 9 on a slightly more diluted level, where the 877 was like this one, the 347 that goes down some just incredibly narrow roads, on all sorts of places like that, and the 878, in total contrast, stays on more of the main roads, main towns. It's still an interesting route, but it's not as challenging. So it was an incredible contrast, incredibly stark contrast between them. And we had a B7 Plaxton President on the 878. It was tremendous. Once the school run had been completed, all the kids got off at the end of that bit. Then I had a 25-minute break where I had to wander around. I got a few photos of the bus. And then we cracked on again and got a tremendous film of the vehicle into Wolverhampton. Absolutely love the motor. So if you do get a chance to go on these select bus routes, I mean, I've done the 67, that was nice. Did that with a 53 plate Optare Solo Allison box. One that was lovely. So that was nice. Then I've done their 877 and 78, 875 with the VDL commands on. Oh no, we go straight on. And I've also done the 23 with an old dad that I believe now people draw. So if you do get a chance to spend a bit of time on the select bus network, I would. There are some tremendous motors, albeit slightly newer now than when I did it. But there are some tremendous motors, lovely routes, and it's usually really nice, really nice day out. If you do them, and I believe they still do some sort of multi-operator ticket, so if you can try and get Chase Rider in as well, it's also worth it. They have a few random bits and bobs at the moment. Can't be that bad, as a few people have stayed on. instead of being able to go straight forward into the centre, we've got to go all the way around the shops. So to be fair, I do understand, because the 347 would be kind of this trip and the return trip that I think goes about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, would be absolutely ideal as shopper trips. It's fine, don't worry, it's fine. And then we'll get to do all the retail park bits again. Oh joy. So hang on, so we go via the station, then the station again, and then eventually we get to the centre. Must be tedious for customers just wanting the bus station. Having to do the train station twice. No, it is a tremendous motorist. Just remember that Dennis Trident is a free download. It was replicated off a quite finite batch of 53 plate London SM53 London United vehicles, I believe they were. Initially. However, you can also sort of replicate the first Glasgow LK53s that they had the London. And they were at London as well. The only issue is it because of the seats on this. I don't know if there's been a seat mod made yet, but I know when there wasn't, you struggle to do the stagecoach one because the bodywork is incorrect for that. I mean, where destination is, the seat molds, you can't replicate a stagecoach one. That I always thought was a shame because most people know Tridents through stagecoach. I mean, yes, if Midlands, you know, NatX and you have your independents, but the iconic operator to purchase an absolute ton of Tridents was Stagecoach, who still operate most of them. Or not most of them, but a few of them. Quite a few. Definitely wouldn't say most of them, because the numbers are starting to dwindle. Oh, come on, boss. Stadium just didn't want to work. We ended up in middle. Stadium's starting to become irresponsive. This is not a good sign. To be quite honest, I'm quite surprised the fan hasn't come on yet. Wouldn't surprise me if the fan had started coming on with how I've absolutely flawed this. So we're nearly there, nearly there. Then we've got the station, and then we get to go to the town centre to terminate with whoever we've got left on.
Jesus, he's driving this thing.
That lass is still waiting for a bus. I've just seen me shoot round here twice. The one thing I must say is I do wish that this centre was moulded a lot better than it is. Because I must say, it is quite irritating when you've done a long rural route to do the unrealistic thing of double backing on yourself to get back. It's just a little bit like you wouldn't. I mean, on a long service like this, if it was this much of an ordeal to get to and fro, you'd probably just leave it for people to go into the centre and change. Change the blind already when we get in. And there we go, straight round to the bus station, and conveniently, totally nothing to do with me changing the blind to night service, and not expecting everybody to get off. Conveniently, everybody's jumped off the bus so we can go straight onto the layover. There we go, we've done quite well for time. So there we go, so that was the 347 service, done ever so slightly quicker than planned. Not by much, but a couple of minutes was shed off. But again, just gives you a little bit of an idea as to how quick you've got to drive on some of these routes to keep the time. A fun route all in all, not much damage sustained. I mean, there was a few idiotic cars in the real world. You'd put your handbrake on and then they do the reversing, but OMSI 2 doesn't allow that in its physics, so you have to squeeze past and do things that you wouldn't tend to do in real life. But apart from that, the bus performed well, and as you could see, if you lower your traffic levels, you don't have an issue getting around this route. On this short working, shall I say, on the Cladbeck short working, on the 347, as I'm yet to test out the other bit up to Rye. For now though, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you want to already, do be sure to subscribe to the Bobos Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of over 6,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's something on there for everyone, with additional 21 videos added per week. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.